This is a complete guide to outdoor bouldering for the climber who has never climbed outdoors before. And without any further ado, here we go. I'll divide this section into necessary items and optional items. We'll start with the necessary items. Besides the basic shoes and chalk in your climber bag, at least one crash pad is a 100% must. 2 crash pads is a 99% must. You're going to be falling a lot, and falling on solid ground will fuck you up, so you must go acquire crash pads. You can rent some out at your local climbing gym, probably, or a local climbing store, probably. Or you can borrow some from your friends, hopefully. Or you have the necessary funds, you can go purchase your own pads, but they do be quite a bit expensive. A guidebook to tell you where to go and what to climb would be quite useful. If you don't have access to one of these guidebooks, you can always use the app known as Mountain Project. It basically serves as a guidebook, except it's free, but the only downside is sometimes the information on the app is a bit wonky since it is basically community run, kind of like Wikipedia. A mobile device. These things known as cell phones are quite useful. You can record yourself, you can play some tunes, you can call for help in case you fall, slip, or fuck your shit up and you need assistance. Water. Water is very important for not dying. Pack an adequate amount, as you rather have too much than not enough. That's pretty much it for the necessary items. Next, we'll go with the optional items. I'll put a star right here if I think it's an optional item that you should really consider bringing along. Here we go. Long sleeve clothing. You may be frolicking through thick foliage and you don't want to be cut up by thorns in the flora around you. These long sleeve clothing will also help prevent the bugs from biting you, specifically the mozzies. Fuck mosquitoes. A big cleaning brush is useful for swiping off dirt and grime off the rocks, as well as the flora from off the rocks. Food and snacks. You might get hungry, you might not, but if you do, it's not a problem. Toiletries such as paper towels, because when nature calls, you won't have to put it on hold if you have toiletries. A tripod to record your sick sins. Some form of first aid. Nicks and cut happens more often outdoors than one would think. In my experience, the number one form of first aid you'll be using is just some band-aids. So band-aids will pretty much suffice for 99% of your injuries. A power bank to ensure your phone has life. Let me tell you, nothing is quite as scary as being stuck in the wilderness with a phone that doesn't have life. Weather will tell you yes or no. If it rains, there will be no climbing. The rain will literally turn the rock into ice, and ain't nobody can climb on ice bare hand. Hot weather will make all the holds feel a lot more slippery. It'll make your skin a lot sweatier, making it harder to hold on to the rock. Of course, climbing is still feasible in this type of weather. Cold weather, preferably in the shade, is preferred for outdoor climbing. The cold weather makes the rock nice and frictiony. The cool weather prevents you from sweating so much. It is basically ideal climbing weather. These are just the basics in terms of climbing weather, and there are many nuances, but these are the main ones. Approach is climber slang for walking to the boulder, or getting to the boulder via foot. Now, the most difficult part of outdoor bouldering isn't climbing, it's finding the goddamn rock to climb. Frustrations will be high. You will feel like you wasted your time until you actually found this goddamn rock. The approach can sometimes be as quick as 5 minutes, or as long as 30 to 60 minutes through thick foliage and ups and downs in terms of terrain. And I must remind you, you will be carrying a crash pad on your back and a backpack on your front, and you might even have stuff in your hands. The point here is, you better know where you're going, because otherwise you're just gonna be walking with all this shit for no particular reason. So do your due diligence and research the approach thoroughly before you set off on your fun little journey. Rock is hard, really hard. Harder than plastic. Rock tears your skin. Indoors, you don't really get tears, you get flappers and sandpaper, but outdoor rocks can be sharp and that sharpness literally tears off your skin. Of course, outdoor rocks can also give you flappers and be sandpapery, like just really depends on the type of rock. Rock predominantly has one hold type, and that hold type are crimp/edges. While sloper, pinches, and monos do exist, the predominant hold type you will find are edges. Now when it comes to climbing these rocks, you have unlimited footholds, but at the same time you really only have 3 footholds. Same with your hands, you have limitless handholds, but at the same time you really only have 3. This will make infinitely more sense once you actually start trying to climb the boulder in real life. A very humbling thing about climbing outdoors is that you very quickly realize just how weak you are. Because of the nature of rock formation, everything outdoors is just vastly more difficult in terms of climbing than indoors. So if the hardest climb you've done indoors, like say a V8, you might only be able to climb a V5 outdoors. Also, all that dynamic climbing, jumping, dynoing, foot cutting move shit indoors, that shit not gonna fly outdoors. 99% of outdoor climbing is static. Dynos do exist, but they are rare. Fear. When you climb indoors, you have a big cushy path to fall onto too. Therefore, you can climb relatively high with little to no fear. Outdoors, the fear of falling on high will make your movement static. It'll make you hesitate a lot, and if your mental game is very weak, your climbing abilities will drastically drop. Of course, this can be overcome through time, but it is never eradicated. Now, of course, we do have crash pads to fall on top of, but notice how they're called crash pads and not landing pads. In the gym, 2 hands on a hold is how you finish the climb. Outdoors, 99% of the climbs you climb have to be mounted, meaning at the top you have to mantle on top and over and stand up, basically. It doesn't count unless you top out the top. The top out is part of climbing outdoors. Pretty typical stuff here. If you bring it in, bring it out. Don't litter. Don't destroy the environment excessively. Don't chip the rocks. If you do, everybody will hate you. If you break a rock while you're climbing it on accident, nobody particularly cares. If you put up a tick mark, make sure you brush it off when you leave. You want to let the other climbers figure out their own beta. Don't deface the rock by carving dumb shit into it, or painting it, or putting anything on it besides chalk, really. And here's literally the best way to go outdoor bouldering, and how I started going outdoor bouldering. Have someone who's been outdoors before take you outdoors. That will basically take care of 99% of all your troubles and worries. All you really gotta do is show up, and they got the rest. And with that being said, I'll see you next time, partner.